Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Adriana Kriviak. I am the owner of Integrative Health Management. I provide solutions for the mind, the body, and beyond. And today I wanted to talk a bit about functional medicine and energy medicine and how they can help you. I'm also known as Dr. K, since my name is a bit complicated, but I just wanted to come on. We're going to have more videos coming up to dive deeper into these ideas and these topics that we're talking about. This is a bit of an introduction. So I wanted to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about my background very briefly as we dive into these topics. I am a foot and ankle surgeon by training. So I have done a 4-year medical degree. I did a 3-year surgical residency at a hospital here in Cleveland, Ohio. And then I went into private practice for 10 years, almost 11 years after that. And what I found when I worked and throughout this time was that I went along and learned all these things about medicine, and the body is an incredibly complicated and amazing, miraculous thing. But after doing multiple surgeries, seeing multiple patients, I found that there was just something missing. People's problems weren't resolving. They'd come in for, different foot and ankle pains and traumas and those sorts of things, and pain that wasn't resolving. And there was always these underlying things. Or I saw a lot of diabetics with a lot of wounds, and I'm like, why is this happening? And the things that I'm doing just aren't working. Why are they not working? And I'd scratch my head, and I'm sure a lot of doctors can identify with this. It's like, what else do you do for this patient? Because the problems just kind of aren't getting any better, and you're trying this medication and you're trying this medication, and things aren't resolving. So probably about 3 years ago, well, maybe 5 years ago, actually, integrative health management has been around for almost 6 years now, but I started doing this underneath the other things that I was doing in my office, or should I say on the side, because I was like, there's got to be more. I came across functional medicine and energy medicine. And when I learned these things, I thought, this is amazing. And this is what people really need. And so I started doing that. But about almost 3 years ago now, I decided to go full-time into functional medicine and doing energy medicine and other therapies, because what I was finding is people's solutions or problems just weren't resolving. And you'll hear my cat here in the background since we're at home now with COVID doing videos. But I was finding that people's problems weren't resolving. So what happens often is you will go to your doctor with an issue. Maybe your blood pressure is high, you don't feel good, you have chronic fatigue, you have a rash, your throat hurts, all these things, normal things that come up, or maybe bigger things that come up. And you get a medication, they do blood work, they check your heart, they check your lungs, maybe there's a chest x-ray, maybe there's some other MRIs, diagnostic studies that they do. And a lot of times things will come back normal, and they'll scratch your head and, okay, well, let's try this, and we're going to try this, and we'll try this. And sometimes things improve and sometimes things don't. And this is where things get a little fuzzy. And even if they do improve, sometimes they come back or multiple medications get given, but we're not looking at the root cause of why something is happening. So with functional medicine, what happens is we look at the why, and we work alongside the physician, your primary care, or your internist or your gynecologist or whoever you see. We like to work alongside and look more at the root cause of the condition. So we look at the why. Why is something happening? Why do you have high blood pressure? Why did you develop diabetes? Why are your legs burning? Why do you have numbness in your feet? All these things that start to come up, that often when you see a doctor, you're given a medication, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and we try something else. Your cholesterol is high, but why do you have the high cholesterol? Why is this happening? Because there's always some underlying issue, and you'd be shocked at all the different issues that start to pop up. So with functional medicine, we are not thriving on giving more medications. I actually like to pull people off of not needed medications, aside from those that you absolutely need. So we start to dig and look under the conditions and why they started happening to begin with. Because if we can get to kind of the root cause, which a lot of times can be very simple, then we can start working on healing that up, eradicating what that is. And a lot of times there's massive improvements to even resolution of the condition. This can take a little bit of time because the body can't shift and change overnight very quickly. So sometimes when you're given a medication like an antibiotic, it can work very quickly. But when we start to look at why you have all these bacterial functions and why all these things are happening, that may take a little bit of us tinkering with certain things and giving homeopathics and changing supplements and changing nutrients so that the body can heal. And it's really amazing what starts happening. And so we in functional medicine, we dial in and we get tests that maybe other doctors don't often get. We get more invested stool samples that look for parasites, that look for bacteria, that look at how your stomach is processing food, that look at are you digesting fibers, that look at the level of inflammation inside your gut. We can do this all based on a simple stool sample. And it can check certain markers. It can check the good and bad bacteria levels of multiple amounts of bacteria. They actually isolate because a lot of these bacteria have to do with brain fog. They have to do with your cardiovascular health. When these are not in balance, then funny things start to happen. So we actually break these down. We look at all the levels, and then we start healing. And it's really amazing what starts to occur. We get tests that are a little bit deeper in function than maybe your regular doctor gets. And sometimes doctors are overwhelmed right now, especially with COVID going on. All of my colleagues are extremely busy, and even some of my patients are saying they're having a difficult time getting into their primary care. So they just really don't have that hour that I usually spend with my clients looking into conditions, looking into why something's happening, and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, functional medicine has its place, as does traditional medicine. If your blood sugars are 400, then we need to put you on a medication to stabilize you. But then let's look at why you're developing this diabetes and start to clean that up so that your blood sugars start coming down. So maybe you don't have to be on so many medications. Because what happens when you're on a lot of medications, they start to interact. When they start to interact, often different symptoms start showing up, and then a physician, your internist, may look at it as a new condition. It may very likely not be a new condition, just an interaction between a lot of different medications that one is taking. And I've had a lot of clients that are saying, I don't know why I'm on this medication. This medication's maybe not terribly, it's not helping me. I'm like, well, why do you continue taking that? Talk to your doctor about it. And let's look at why you're having these symptoms. So functional medicine looks at when you have things like arthritis, when you have things like diabetes, when you have things like cancer, let's look at what's underneath, because what's underneath often is an inflammatory disbalance. It's a hormonal dysfunction. It can be a nutrient deficiency. Those are actually very common and very simple things that can be fixed. It can be a virus. It can be a parasite in your stomach. It can be a big one is toxicities. This is something a lot of doctors don't even think to look at. But toxicity in the body, such as pesticides from your neighbor's lawn that you're inhaling or from the food that you're eating, a lot of foods have a lot of pesticides. Coffee may have a lot of pesticides. These things over time accumulate in the body, and they get stuck in the thyroid. They can get stuck in the liver. They can get stuck in the stomach. And these things sit there. Over time, they kind of pile up, and the body is trying desperately to get it out. It gets overloaded. It slows down, and something else happens. So this is what we do in functional medicine is we get deeper testing. We look at the cause, the why of a condition that's underneath it all, and we start to clean that up so the body can get better faster. And we hope to work alongside your primary care and your internist so we can work together to get these things resolved and get you feeling a whole lot better, because things like anxiety, brain fog, those can often be associated to toxicities, to parasites, to these little things that nutrient deficiencies that we don't even know about. So I often get an environmental toxin test, which is a very simple urine test, and we can spell out all the environmental toxins that your body is burdened with that is having an impact on your arteries. Like metal toxicity, for instance, has a huge impact on arteries, on liver, and magnesium deficiencies are huge. We are often deficient in a lot of nutrients, and these get depleted the more medications we actually take. So we look at all these different things, and we start to unwind the puzzle, start to replenish and heal the things that we need to heal, and the body can heal. It gives the body opportunity to heal. Let's talk about the other piece of energy. Maybe some of you have heard of Reiki. Maybe some of you have heard of energy healing or not. but it's a really miraculous tool. I want you all to know that there are so many amazing tools out there and amazing technologies and amazing therapies that can be of such service and be of such help to get your body to heal. I specifically focus on the functional medicine and the energy medicine and one or two other technologies that I use, because here's how it works. The stress that we experience in our life, whether that be trauma due to work, due to a divorce, due to a family member passing away, due to childhood traumas, the stress we live in our daily lives of go, 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 that actually works its way into the body. We are electromagnetic beings. What do I mean by that? We have electromagnetic properties. Have you ever walked across a carpet and you got a zing? Have you ever thought about your heart? Your heart is actually an electrical kind of device. It works on its own and it pumps and it has its own electrical system to send circulation through the body. And you may say, well, the brain tells it what to do. Yes and no. It actually has its own electromagnetic and its own electrical properties to pump on its own. So we don't measure this energy thing by something we can see. It's something we feel. It's the way we connect to others. It's what gets you up in the morning and you say, I have energy or I don't have any energy. It's what gives you life and vitality. And if you've ever had a difficult conversation with someone, or you're at work and you're around a lot of negative people, you feel that, and that can feel heavy in your shoulders. You can start to get neck pain. You can feel it in your gut. Have you ever felt like just heaviness in your gut? Over time, this energy, what happens with this energy that's a lot of negative thinking and stress, it actually kind of sits out here and it works its way into the body. And when it works its way into the body, we start to have some malfunctions, like acid reflux starts to happen, aches and pains start to happen. Have you ever heard the saying, like, I feel a cold coming on? You kind of feel it. It's out here and you're like, I feel like I'm getting tired. I'm getting fatigued. I feel a cold coming on. That is a perfect example of energy. It's already out here. You're hearing it. You're feeling it. And with time, if you don't do something in that instant, like slow down, take a break, take a nap, take some vitamins, you end up getting that cold, right? So that's a perfect example of how energy works. It works on multiplicity of levels, and specifically with a lot of stress, a lot of these thoughts that we repeat over and over, a lot of this angst that we feel because of work, because of family relationships, and all these things that start happening. So this energy actually can be cleared out. There is a technique that I use to clear this energy out. And if you're interested in knowing more of it, there is a video on my website, and you can go to www.ihmohio.com, and that will be at the end of this program. You can visit the website, and there is a video under, if you go under the stress energy management tab, it will be underneath there, and you can view the video as to how this really works. Energy is not something tangible. It's not something we can pull out of our heads, throw in the trash when we're feeling too tight, but it's there and it's constantly percolating. And I describe it as when we get too stressed, we get to what's called congested. And when we get congested, it's almost like when you have a sinus congestion. The energy kind of gets stuck in certain places. It'll sit in your shoulders, it'll sit in your neck, and you're like, I got to get a massage, or I got to go do some stretching, or you'll feel it in your gut. And over a long period of time, it has been shown to cause conditions, all sorts of conditions. And so this is one of the first things that I really do work on with my clients to eradicate some of this energy, because it's really miraculous what starts to happen when we start moving this energy. I had a client she was a young gal, had 4 kids, and she had gone to an internist and went to a GI specialist. She had a lot of just stomach issues. And she, I think, spent about $3,500 in a scope and blood work and all this testing. And I said, we can't find anything. But she's telling me, but my stomach really hurts. We spent about 4 sessions. We cleared some things out. We cleared some tensions that she had, some emotional things that were percolating. We got a stool sample test, a little bit of inflammation. We put her on a good probiotic. She's been good ever since. That's how quick it can work if you're open and if you are allowing to get the receptivity of healing. And so I work with these 2 factors because they can be really miraculous and really clear things out. I've had pain resolve. I've had neck pain resolved just with these things. And then, but once the energy works its way into the body, if it's kind of heavy, then we kind of got to deal with what's going on inside the system. If you're, so it's not just the energy, we got to work a little bit inside the system. If you're having stomach pains, we have to kind of figure out why you're having that and work on both ends. Because if you have a lot of stress at work or at home, the body's going to have a little bit of a tougher time clearing these things, no matter how many supplements we use, no matter how much we detoxify, no matter how many medications we take you off of. We kind of got to deal with the energy of the stress that you're dealing with. And stress is a big umbrella. With stress, I'm talking about anything from a divorce you've gone through that you're still dealing with kids that are running around, with family members maybe that are ill that you need to take care of, with other family, with relationships, with work, anything that you're dealing with past traumas that are still kind of lingering for you. There's all these things under the umbrella of stress. And these are the things we kind of scoop out, clean out. And when we release them, the body can heal so much faster. And it's miraculous what starts to happen. I've seen it happen. And this does take a little bit of time. It does take a little bit of work. But in the long run, it's going to be the blink of an eye, really, because I see people that have come to me that have struggled for a long period of time, over a year, 2, 3 years. And they're like, I keep getting worse and nobody seems to know what's going on. And I'm like, okay, let's look a little bit deeper. Let's work together. And, within a month or two, we have some improvements or even resolutions. They can be very quick. So this is definitely the two things that I would comment on how these things can help you. So energy is, yes, it's sort of the energy that you get up with, and you either have energy in the morning or you don't. It is that kind of thing. But energy is the connection that you have with other people. You feel it when you're around people. You feel when you're in a negative situation or a positive situation. You know when you feel good and bright and shiny, and you know when you feel down and heavy and not so great. And this is when I talk about energy, this is kind of what we talk about. And that kind of stuff works its way into the body and makes situations worse, or over longer period of time starts to create situations. Or when you feel more joyful and we release some of these energy, the body can heal faster. And then we just give you some supplements and work on some things in the body and clearing some things out, maybe doing a little detoxification, and the body can heal a whole lot faster. So these are two really important things. And I want to comment on this piece that now more than ever with COVID, we have to really look at the importance of our health and how important our health is at this time. Because I've heard a lot about, I heard so-and-so was 36 years old and they were young and they died with COVID. We don't really know, and they were healthy. We don't know what's going on inside their system. We don't know their toxicity level. We don't know their emotional status, because health, really the true definition of health, is emotional, physical, spiritual, and social well-being. All of those things. If one of those 4 or 5 are not up to par in your life, or they're really down below, then you're not necessarily completely healthy. So we need to look at those things. That's really important. So now more than ever is really a time for us to look at our health. You see it all around you. You see the stress levels are at an all-time high right now. The negativity, the anger, the anxiety, the depression. Now is really the time to dig in and start cleaning these things out instead of going and getting another medication. Let's just do some of this work, because medications often don't take that away. And so we clear some of these things out and you will feel so much better. And we have multiple ways that we do that I do that. And so I really urge you that now is the time to work on your immune system, boosting your immune system, cleaning the things out that need to be cleaned out, improving your health, looking at these underlying causes so that you can fight everything and viruses so much better and so much easier, and they won't have as strong of an effect on you. And that's really, really important. So we'll be having and discussing more topics as we go along, giving you more tidbits and more health tips and diving into these different topics such as toxicities, such as inflammation, and see if this can help you and help you get out of those two things. And just all in all, I describe energy as almost like taking a shower or brushing your teeth. If you clean off the stuff that's kind of been piling up, and you'll know when it piles up, when you're just like, I am just overwhelmed, I am fatigued. That's when you know that you have So here's another piece. How do you know if you have an energy block? If there's excess worry, if there's anger, if there's resentment, if there's been a past trauma anywhere in your life, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, all these things are usually a very strong energetic block somewhere, or some sort of malfunction with the energy piece. And so we can actually clear that out. And it's really, really amazing. It's kind of like a shower. We just clean it out and you will start feeling so much better. It really works magically. I wouldn't have taken it on if I didn't see the results when I learned it. And then you tie it into the functional medicine piece. We kind of look into the body, see where else we need to clean things up internally, and the body can improve. And these are really amazing tools. And there's way more. I also have a quantum biofeedback device that I use. It's kind of a looking glass into the body. It gives me clues as to what's going on inside the system, because the body actually tells the computer what's going on. It's really, really amazing. So if you're interested in any of these and more information on these, you can go to www.ihmohio.com, and that will be, after this video is done running, there will be a closing video and it'll be on there. If you would like to email me, you can email me at drk@ihmohio.com with any questions to any of this. If this is, you're like, I want to know more about this energy thing, I'm not sure about it. We have some introductory things we can do to help you get a better understanding of it. And I'm happy to talk with you about it. If you have questions, or if you just want like a consultation on any of these things, this is everything that I do, because I'm really just here to serve. I found that what I was doing way back wasn't serving people in the highest and best. And that is something that I'm here to do now, to really help people get better, have more joy in their life, because boy, do we need it right now. Times are just, it's been a challenge for a lot of people, and I'm here to just serve in that respect. So hope all of you are doing well, and I look forward to giving you more information and carrying on more topics. If there's something you'd like to hear about, please let us know, and look forward to hearing from all of you and interacting with all of you. And if this was helpful, please share this video. If there's somebody around you that needs extra help, that they've tried everything and nothing's working, please send them the video. Maybe they can reach out. Maybe we could talk, and perhaps I can help. I'm just here to be of service. And please subscribe below if this was helpful. We'd love to have your interaction and help get this word out to anybody else that might need a solution when they're kind of stuck, because I'm here to help people get unstuck. I helped myself get unstuck, and now I'm here to help others get unstuck. So we will be chatting more, and have a great rest of your day. Take good care.